right. Hello, everybody, and welcome. I am so excited to welcome Kim Ayers with us, who is going to be joining us for our Inner Circle monthly speakers on June 15th at 2:30 Central Time. Kim is going to be talking to us about sex toys, and her title of her presentation is Learn Everything About Sex Toys for Sexual Health and Wellness. And I'm so excited to be chatting with Kim today. And Kim, welcome.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, so I'm going to jump right into our first question because I know your background is so robust and so wonderful, and I'm so excited for you to share about it. But what sort of background do you have, and what brought you into the sexuality field?
Well, I am what you'd say OG in the field for sure. I opened a store in 1993, so it was before the internet, in Brookline, Massachusetts, next to Boston, when I left my job at Harvard to sell rubber dicks to girls. Which is
I love
true
that.
because back then there was just the crappy, seedy stores. And I ended up being like a girlfriend that would bring friends to the store to be like, okay, what do you want? And it's a lot of the same work that I'm doing today. And this throws back to like 1988, 89, I was doing that. So what happened is I ended up just, I don't want to say being sick and tired of doing that because it never gets old for me. But I was just like, this isn't fair that we as a community have to go to stores where, dirty and, to talk low like this. So I'm like, you know what, enough of that. I grew up on top of my father's furniture store. My two sisters are both in retail still, and it's in our blood. So in 1993, November, I opened up the store called Grand Opening. So people would say, you still have your signs up. I'm like, that's the name of the store. So in 1995, the internet was a little baby. And I'm like, well, I guess I better get grandopening.com. So it still is on grandopening.com. I sold the store in December 05, and it's been online since as an affiliate site. So we've got like 30,000 products. It's crazy because that's another story. So I've been still in the adult industry. I actually had my real estate license for a little while, and I'm like, these are not my people. So I jumped back into the sex field, not that I ever left. So it's been since 93, as a business, but a passion since 87. And I have, just stayed on top of sex toys and things. And this is the thing is I really like to say, I walk the walk and talk the talk. I use sex toys. I really use them. I help in the design of some of them. I'm an active BDSM practitioner, kinky since 91, and I'm really proud of it. And I'm not shy, and I'm so happy about all of it because it's pretty amazing. I know that I've changed people's lives because of what I do. And I'll tell you, and I'm sure what everybody out there has done too, is you don't realize the impact that you have on people's happiness when you can. I got goosebumps because all of this to me is kind of higher powered. That's a whole nother thing. And it's just, be happy around sex stuff, and if people have come from a trauma background, reclaim that and go past it, and so on and so forth. So I'm so passionate about using sex as healing, using it as education, using it as a healthy choice, no matter who you are, where you are on a spectrum of anything, even age, is having kids being raised with a healthy, positive sex attitude, age appropriate, is so important because that will stick to them their entire lives. So I'm really kind of across the board with a lot of it. And I'm just so crazy passionate about the whole thing of sex because it's so vast. And this is something I say, which a lot of you listening can use for sure. The whole sex thing is so vast, huge, what you like, what you don't like, what your history is, blah, 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 all this like this. But you know what it comes down to? It comes to each one of us individually, what you like, all things like this. So it's just like the food industry. If you don't like a food, let's say if you don't like Thai food, you're not going to go to the Thai restaurant, but it's still open and there's people that go there. So it's the same thing around the sex field. And I'll get questions like, oh, you've probably heard this before. I'm like, yeah, but I haven't heard it from you. So it's a new question. Even if it's the same question I've heard thousands of times, it's from you. So it's a different question for me. So this is the kind of passion I bring to what I do and my enthusiasm just around toys, because they're toys. So
I
not to lose sight
love
of
it.
that for sure.
I love it.
That's a lot.
Wonderful, wonderful. So in an ideal world, what is one thing the majority of the population is on board with?
One thing that they're on board with. This is a tough one because, we all know that sexual health and wellness is a key ingredient on any stage of life. But there's a lot of people that are not on board with that. And that I think is extremely detrimental in so many ways that in my heart, I wish everybody would be on board with it, or that they'd at least open the door to it. But I know there's a lot of people that are not on board with it. So, and yeah, the one thing that people are on board with, I know, breathing, death, and taxes. There you go. That's what everybody's on board with. Whether or not they like it, they have to deal with all three. And food. Sex is another question. Yeah. So those three for sure.
All right. So my final question for you, Kim, I would love to hear some general specifics as to what will be covered around sex toys.
There's general specifics. There's going to be a lot. That sex toys are my specialty. Like I say, just the materials, the history, everything like that. I'm looking because I've got a few things here. Here's the Stealth. It's a rotating, this is the thing that we're going to address, is a lot of things that are labeled and says what they are. Don't believe it. Okay, because this says anal toy, right? Well, you know what? It's going to feel really good vaginally, or it's going to feel really good wherever you want to stick it in. Okay, so if it appeals to you, I mean, this is one of the big things I always talk about. Get what appeals to you visually when it comes to sex toys. Don't look at what it says on the package. If it says anal, you don't have to use it anally. This is okay. So here's I got these because they're kind of cute and funny. Okay, let me line them up here. Okay, there's 3 different ones. You know why? Because one size does not fit all.
Mm-hmm.
So if this appeals to you and go, oh, you know what, metal, this is going to really feel good, vaginally. And I'm not, or it's going to feel really good anally. Then just get it, because you're like, oh, my body likes it. So if your body is saying, I like it with my eyes, chances are the rest of your body will like it too. So this is the kind of tips and tricks and things that I talk about, which definitely helps when you're working with clients or talking about sex toys. And like I said, throwing back to when I brought friends to the sleazy porno stores in the combat zone, I would always say, get what appeals to you visually. And that's exactly what I'm still saying to this day. So these are the kind of things that we're definitely going to be talking about and addressing. And I really look forward to all your questions too, because I love the questions. I always like to play Stump the Professor, so sometimes I don't bullshit people. So if I don't know the answer, I will tell you I don't know the answer. But then again, it's always like, well, you might want to think about, and then expanding that question and seeing if we can get an answer together. So I'm really looking forward to the presentation a lot.
Yay, Kim,
Yay.
thank you so much. I am so excited. It is going to be a blast. I am so looking forward to hearing about sex toys from you. So everyone, please catch us June 15th at 2:30 Central Time. Check out our Facebook event, sign up on our mailing list to get notified of the Zoom link so you can attend. Reminder that attending is free to the public. Anybody is welcome to join us for this wonderful hour. And Kim, thank you so much. I'm so looking forward to it.
So am I. And of course, don't forget to follow me on all social media at Kim Ayers, AIRS.
Yes.
So yeah, I'll definitely be talking about it. And I'll also have hair and makeup done.
I love it. I love it.
Great. Looking forward to it a lot.